Hey everybody, it's Mac here, and we are going to do word problems because word problems are fun, except for that they're not. But I think when people do word problems, they kind of relate to the proportion ones a lot. So hopefully you guys are going to feel really good about these. Before I start, I just want to remind you that you can find all of these at maxtutorials.com. And this is going to be unit 3 in my algebra sequence. And there's a lot of algebra there, guys, that I hopefully will help you out. So please like and subscribe to this video. This is version A. I also have a version B and a version C if you just need some more help. All right, so let's get started. Whenever you see a proportion problem, it's going to be set up. You're going to have two different units, okay? And they're going to give you basically one situation with the units and then another situation, and they're going to leave one out. I think the best way, instead of explaining it, is just to do some. A car travels 180 miles in 3 hours. At the same rate, how far will it travel in 5 hours? So watch, I get miles and hours, and then I get an hours, but I don't get the miles. So here's going to be the setup. There's actually a few different ways you can do this, but I'm going to take what the one that they given. You're going to take the given, which is 180 over 3. And I'm going to write miles and the hours because it's really important that you keep those, that you don't mix those up. And when I create a proportion, I'm not going to write a times, I'm going to write an equals. Okay. 5 hours. So now, where do I put the 5? I have to put it on the same side as the original. So I'm going to put the 5 hours down here. And then this is my unknown as my miles, and my miles are on top. Now, I could have done this. I could have done 3 hours over 180, which is fine. But that means that my 5 hours, I got to keep my hours on top, and I put my X there. So you really have some choice on here. You just want to make sure that the terms you're using are on the same numerator or denominator, whatever you did. Now, we're just going to do our proportions, solving proportion problems. And I'm going to get 3x equals, well, whatever 5 times 180 is. And right now, I'm going to be lazy and I'm just going to use my calculator. I don't think anybody would mind that, would you? Of course you wouldn't. So I'm going to go 5 times 180, and that's going to equal 900. Then I'm going to divide each side by 3. X equals 300. 300 what? How far? What's the side I didn't do? I didn't do the miles. So I need to finish up the miles. So it's 300 miles. Make sure you always write your terms because you always want to know what you're solving for, right? All right, a recipe uses 2 cups of sugar for 16 cookies. How many cups of sugars are needed for 40 cookies? These are real practical things, okay? Especially doing recipes, these happen a lot. Okay, so I'm going to go 2 cups over 16. And I'm just going to write over here cups over cookies, okay? So I don't have them kind of mixed up. So 2 cups over 16 cookies are equals, and I'm going to write another fraction. Okay, how many cups of sugars? How many cups? I don't know. So that X goes on my cup side. 40 cookies. I've been given the 40. Now I've set up my proportion. Once you've set up the proportion, it's just a matter of solving now. Okay, so I'm going to get 16x equals 80. Divide by 16, divide by 16, boom, die. And I'm going to x equals, how many times will 16 go into 80? 5 times. So what is that 5 though? That 5 is up here on top, which is the cups. So the answer is 5 cups. Whoa, what happened? 5 cups. All right, number 3. A map uses 1 inch for every 20 miles. So let's do this. Inch over miles. 1 inch for over 20. If two cities are 140 miles apart, so what's the known? The known is the miles. Okay, so I'm going to put the known, the 140, down on the bottom on the miles. How many inches? I don't know. There's my X on the inch side. Okay, so whatever my answer is, it's going to be whatever inches. Okay, let's do our cross multiplying. And I get 20x equals 140. If I divide each side by 20, I'm going to get x equals 7. 7 what? 7 inches. Ah! Sorry about that. I hate it when that happens. X equals 7 inches. All right. A bike travels 45 miles in 3 hours. Let's go miles over hours. Okay. The known is the 45 miles in 3. So that's a known quantity. And I'm going to equal a fraction. And the miles will go on top and the hours will go on bottom. Well, they gave me 7 hours. And they want to know how far, meaning how many miles. So my answer is going to be something miles. All right. So if I cross multiply, I'll do that so it doesn't look as nasty. I'm going to get 3x equals whatever 45 times 7 is. And my calculator is going to tell me that the answer is 315. I'm going to divide each side by 3, and I don't need to use a calculator for this. 3 goes in the 3 once. There we go. And 3 goes in the 1 0 times, and it goes in the 15 5 times. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry, 105 what? We already said that. That's going to be miles. Okay, make sure we get that. 5. A photo is enlarged 5 inches wide to 15. Okay, so enlarged from 5 to 15. If the original height was 8 inches, what is the new height? Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can do this. So we know that it went from 5 inches to 15. Okay, so this 5 is the original, and it went to 15, and this is your inches. This is your inches. Okay. Now, the original, that's the original, is the one on the left. The height was 8. Okay. I shouldn't you really say height. This is actually the width, right? They're all inches. And so that's going to equal what height? I don't know the height. Okay. You could have also done this if this makes you feel better. 5 over 15. Okay. And this is basically the width and the width equals the height, which is the original to the new. Okay, so if you do this, if you do it this way, it still makes sense because the term is original and original to the new to the new. Okay, and if you notice, it's all set up and it's going to work the same way. I apologize if that was a little confusing, but I know some people may have that question. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to get 5x equals whatever 8 times that is, which looks like it's going to be 120. So we go 5, 5, boom, x equals 2, carry to 2, 24. So the new height is going to be 24 inches. Okay? Number 6, a recipe uses 5 cups of flour for 20 muffins. So what's the known? First of all, I'm going to go cups over muffins. I know that 5 is going to make me 30. 5 cups is going to give me 30 muffins. Okay, well, that's cool. And what's that going to equal? How many cups are needed for 54? All right, well, what do I know? I know 54 on the muffins. What I don't know is I don't know the cups. All right, so this looks like one that I would like to use a calculator for. So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator and I'm going to go 30x equals whatever 5 times 54 is. And that's going to be 270. And once I do that, x equals, well, I can count these guys out. So it's whatever 27 divided by 3 is, which I know is 9. 9 what, though? 9 cups. Okay, can you see how on recipes, proportion problems can be really helpful to you? Okay, so we do see these in recipes quite a bit. All right, a runner completes 4 miles in 28 minutes. What's the known? Miles over minutes. Okay, so what's the unknown? How long? Meaning I don't know the how long, and they give me the miles. Well, the miles are on top, so I'm going to put the top, and the minutes. I don't know. That's my x. So that's going to set up the 4x equals 280 once I do my cross multiplication. And once I solve for x, x equals 70 minutes. Okay, because remember, my x is on the minute side. Okay, going on to number 8, one more. A scale drawing uses 1 inch for every 6 feet. We're going to go inches over feet. What did they give me? They gave me 24 feet, and they want to know what would the inches be. 6x equals 24. Dividing side by 6, and I'm going to get x equals 4. 4 what? 4 inches. Boom, boom, boom. And that, my friends, is how you do proportion problems. Hopefully that feels comfortable to you. And again, we do have answer keys here that you can go off of. And that's basically it. If you want some more practice, we do have a version B and a version C, and I hope you use it. And we'll see you guys on the next one.